Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Atika binti Muhammad Tajul Urus, and in order to complete our group project on Islamic banking courses, we had discussed and decided to choose Bank Muamalat Indonesia as our main topic for the project of Islamic banking in selected OIC countries. For your information, Bank Muamalat Indonesia, also known as BMI. And today, I would like to present about the introduction of BMI. But before I go through this topic deeper, I would like to briefly share with you guys about the Islamic economics. First of all, Islamic economics differ from the conventional in terms of worldview and philosophy. This is due to the guidelines and rules that were constructed by the Islamic and Sharia. On the Islamic banking side, Islamic banking is prohibited from taking and offering riba. This is the major difference between the Islamic banking and the conventional one. Okay, next, moving on to our main topic, BMI was founded in 1991. Okay, Bank Muamalat Indonesia is the first commercial bank in Indonesia operating in Islamic principle. And the bank was doing great and growing consistently every year. Despite the Asian financial crisis in 1997, which hit the banking industry not only in Malaysia but also Indonesia, BMI has proven its resilience toward the crisis and continued to grow every year. And not only that, BMI has established their first overseas branch, which is located in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. BMI is the first local bank to open its operation outside Indonesia and has been awarded International Islamic Banking (IIB) license by Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) itself. That's all for the introduction for Bank Muamalat Indonesia, and thank you.
And Assalamualaikum. My name is Fahmi. So today I want to share to all of you that history and development of Bank Muamalat Indonesia. Bank Muamalat Indonesia, they start their business as the first Sharia bank in Indonesia was on November 1, 1991. And then the establishment of Bank Muamalat Indonesia, we call it BMI, was initiated by Indonesian Ulama Council. And then a Muslim businessman who subsequently received support from the government of the Republic of Indonesia since officially operating on 1 May 1992. So the best thing is we have a Muslim businessman that support BMI. So BMI continues to innovate and produce Sharia financial products such as Sharia insurance, takaful insurance, such as financial institution pension fund Muamalat, we call it DPLK Muamalat, and then also multi-finance Sharia. And then until now, BMI, they have 325 service office, including one in Malaysia. Business strategy. So BMI, they have their mission and vision. And do you know what BMI call? They want to be the best Islamic bank and the top 10 bank in Indonesia with a strong strategy. Okay, so thank you.
Okay, hi, it's me again, Atika, and now we're moving on to the Muamalat principle and contract used in Bank Muamalat Indonesia. Okay, the main purpose of Islamic banking system is to reshape financial services and products in the mold of Islamic principle so that it can accomplish the requirements and demands of the consumer, especially the ones who are seriously consider the religious restriction, such as taking the riba, gharar, masir, and etc. And that is why there are a lot of Sharia principles that has been conducted through this bank, which is such as the principle of wadi'ah, the deposit, mudarabah, profit sharing, buy and sell, musyarakah, equity sharing, murabahah, cost plus, and ijara, the rent, and etc. But in this topic, I would like to highlight the two principles that we conducted in these banks, which is al-ijara and wadi'ah. Okay, first let me take a look on al-ijara, which is the rent. Al-Ijara is actually the benefit or use of an asset that is transferred by the owner to the lessee at an agreed price or rental amount for an agreed period of time as stated in the agreement. Okay. This application of Al-Ijara is clearly shown by the contract of Ijarah Muttakhiyah Bit-Taliq contract. Okay, next, moving on to the Al-Wadi'ah concept, which is the deposit. Al-Wadi'ah is actually a contract between two parties where the first party entrusts an item to the second party. It's like when you have an asset and you entrust them to the institution such as the bank to take care of it while you being away, or you have to be somewhere else and you have someone to take care of your item. And this application is actually has been used in Islamic principle because it does not have maturity date and you can withdraw your asset whenever you want it to be, and it is very convenient for you. Okay, that is all from me. Thank you.
Hi guys, today I want to share about their framework, BMI framework and supervision. So the first thing that you all need to know that BMI, they totally apply all of their framework in Islamic Sharia principle. But Islamic banking system does not apply the interest rate in the trading concept, which is called riba. You know, riba is forbidden in Islam, and Bank Muamalat Indonesia, they totally reject the riba. Indonesia Muamalat Bank, it is own privilege for which under banking laws and regulation of the government. So BMI is under the government laws. Okay. So in addition, BMI also play a role in support the economic development of Indonesia, especially they effort to enhance the role of Islamic entrepreneurs in national economic development and act as a catalyst for the development of Sharia financial institution of Indonesia. It means that BMI also support all the youngest to enhance the economic development in Indonesia, and then also BMI also support the government of Indonesia to become a number one bank in Indonesia. And lastly, the best thing is BMI, they collaborate with MUI and ISMI by setting up a small incubation foundation at the first level, which is through the development of Baitumal, which is until now they have 823 incubation foundation throughout Indonesia. It is interesting, right? So that is their supervision.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Farhan Hasbullah, and I will be presenting on the topic of Sharia governance and also the financial statements later on. Do Islamic financial institutions really need to have this Sharia governance? The answer is yes. This is because the Sharia governance will help the Islamic financial institutions or IFS to fulfill with Sharia requirement. So, who will lead the Sharia governance? The answer is the Sharia board. The Sharia board is a board that in charge to help the institution to manage and run the Sharia governance. So what do? They set regulations according to the Sharia, control mechanisms to guide the institutions, and also giving any opinions for the institution's improvements. So in Bank Muamalat Indonesia, the Sharia board is called Sharia Supervisory Board, which consists of 3 members and led by Professor Dr. Ma'ruf Amin. This board actually plays a very important role to make sure that the institutions will always be on the right path according to the Sharia. So, they always review the standard operational procedures yearly, which means any changes need to be reviewed first by them. Next, they also do the monthly meeting among the three members to discuss any improvements and solved problems regarding the current served services. Next, they also do the assessment and supervision at all the branches at all the provinces in Indonesia to make sure that all these banks do the same operations according to the SOP. Lastly, any decision regarding services need to be approved first by the National Sharia Council of Majlis Ulama Indonesia, which means any improvement or any changes must be referred first by the National Sharia Council to make sure that it is still following and comply with the Sharia. That's all from me for now. Next.
Hello, my name is Raisa Mukaroma and I want to explain about sources and uses of funds. The majority of Islamic banks' revenue comes from interest-free activities. The proportion of interest-free revenue assets to total assets is expected to have a positive impact on profitability. TPF is the third-party fund consisting of current accounts, saving accounts, and investment accounts. IFIN represents the funding activities at the rate of the total financing and received from margin income and profit sharing for the bank. TPF, the percentage of TPF to the total assets are generated from wadiah demand deposits, mudorobah saving deposits, and mudorobah investment deposits. ISA is revenue from service activities at the rate of total revenue and received from service fees. And next is L is the total financing in the rate of total assets and received from the volume of total financing that is provided by the Islamic Bank. LB is total liabilities in the rate of total assets achieved by totaling liabilities over total assets. Next is EA is the interest-free revenue assets as a rate of total assets consisting of current accounts and put with other banks, securities, and other receivables, financing facilities, investment in share of stock, and commitment and contingencies liabilities that take credit. EQ is the total equity in a rate of total assets. It is the total amount of capital stock, additional paid-in capital, and retained earnings. And the last is OC, or overhead cost. It's the rate of total assets, which consists of employee expenses, general and administrative expenses. Thank you.
The next topic is asset and liability management of Bank Muamalat Indonesia. How Bank Muamalat Indonesia maintain their asset and liability? The main function of treasury in managing the asset and liability is equity. The manager have carried out the following activity and initiative for Bank Muamalat Indonesia to make sure that the equity of the asset is stable and improved. The liquidity can be maintained at good equity level by fulfillment of few analyses such as statutory reserve, liquidity buffer ratio, microprudential, and backup liquidity for current need for daily cash in the branch office. Next, excess liquidity is managed as secondary reserve liquidity on the investment portfolio through placement at the low risk and moderate investment instrument. Some of the low risk investment instruments are also available at Amanat Bank Indonesia Syariah, and Bank Indonesia Sukuk, while the moderate risk investment instruments are available at the Interbank Mudharabah Investment Certificate. Third, it can be managed by the medium term note. Medium term note issue Bank Muamalat Indonesia and still outstanding. Until today, it is worth 100 billion rupiah Islamic medium term notes, and medium term note subordinate Sharia worth 100 billion rupiah also. Asset liability commit is the another management strategy based on the annual report of Bank Muamalat Indonesia in 2018. Asset liability committee have been conduct discussion about particular issue related to internal condition such as inflation rate, exchange rate, foreign exchange reserve.
Hello, my name is Raisa and I want to explain about risk management. Some risks found on mutanakisa financing, which is the risk of customer failure to carry out his obligations, risk of increasing or fluctuating in financing prices, and risk of unfamiliarity between the bank and the customer asset ownership. The process of risk management in Bank Muamalat Indonesia is carried out in 5 phases. The first one is determining context. Bank Muamalat Indonesia at the stage of determining the context by using financing guidelines as a benchmark to do financing and risk management. Second is identifying risk. Risk identification is done by identifying types of risks. The risks are follows: risk of customer failure to fulfill the obligation, the risk of price hike or financing fluctuation, and the risk of unfamiliarity between the bank and customers in asset ownership. The third is analyze the risk. Analyzing the risk by performing the risk calculation, frequency of occurrence, analyzing the customer, and also the losses. The fourth is controlling and manage. The risk involved in the financing of mutanakisa will be controlled to reduce the risk and managing each risk carefully. And the last is evaluation. Meetings are done each month to evaluate the risk involved by monitoring the process and implementation to control the risk. Correct and suitable risk management should reduce the risk. Thank
So
you.
next, I will tell about financial statement in Bank Muamalat Indonesia. There are differences of doing and reporting the financial statements in Islamic banking and also the conventional banking. Why does these differences occurs? This is because both two banking systems operates different types of services. In result, it will make some different or many difference of elements or accounts throughout all the transaction by all the system or services offered by this different banking system. So actually there are various Islamic banking format of reporting. So in Indonesia, for Bank Muamalat Indonesia, it follows the standards and the guidelines by Indonesian Institute of Accountants, and after reviewing the financial statements from the annual report of Bank Muamalat Indonesia 2018, they state all the elements that are required and follows the format. Actually, there are 3 formats or 3 sets of formats that are prepared by this IAI, so that all the financial statements follow the Indonesian FAS format. Last but not least, this financial statement is endorsed by the Sharia Supervisory Board, which means all the transactions that are done within this 1 year is completely according and complied to the Sharia. That's all from me. Thank you, and I pass to Faid.
The last part is value-based intimidation. Value-based intimidation is a different practice from the usual management. Value-based intimidation is built upon Sharia value to determine that every business meet the requirement of Islamic financial institution. Value-based intimidation advocation will assign practice offering and collaboration. Value-based intimidation in Bank Muamalat Indonesia is known as the ideal value of Muamalat. The operational aspect is due to consistent performance in providing the best service and fulfilling the expectation of stakeholders. In this regard, Bank Muamalat Indonesia refer to two principles. The first principle is to implement the character and behavior of the Prophet, who should be emulated in everyday activity, especially in running business. This character include siddiq, fatanah, amanah, and tabligh. While the second principle has been applied in the most business worldwide, also in Bank Muamalat Indonesia, such as transparency, accountability, responsibility, professionalism, fairness and equality, and also caring attitude. These principles are summarized in ideal value of muamalat, which has been implemented to all levels of the organization. That's all from us. Thank you.